You know, I have to be honest, I thought that when we got out of the beginning arc of Oshinoko, that the hype for it would die down a little bit. I was completely wrong. The Oshinoko train is still rolling hard, and it doesn't have any sign of slowing down. And another added element is that with this week's episode, I am certain that we have just started a waifu war in this Oshinoko community. Aqua has now unknowingly stumbled into one of life's most complicated shapes, a love triangle. Second, of course, to the I just walked in on my mother-in-law changing into her swimsuit dodecahedron. If you know, you know. So I took a little bit of a break from Oshinoko. I haven't been reviewing it for the past few weeks because I've had too much stuff going on. I got my wisdom teeth out and then I moved, so I took a few weeks off. And this past arc has been kind of interesting for me because it isn't really focused on the whole Aqua tracking down his dad, plot of the story. This one I think has all been about giving an inside look into the entertainment industry and how it affects, young adults specifically. And of course, this arc has also been about introducing and developing characters for our cast. Now we have Akane and Memcho, who I think are going to be big players later on, with Aqua offering a spot in Bikomachi to Memcho at the end of this episode. So one thing that was actually really on my mind when I was watching this episode, and I hate to say this, but I've been online today, kind of looking around, the internet, seeing people's reactions to this episode and whatnot, and I thought people would be a little more critical of what went down between Aqua and Akane. Being an isekai guy, I have seen this situation so many times in anime, and when we're talking about isekai anime, a lot of people criticize and attack the isekai anime for a situation like what Aqua did in this episode with Akane. Now, granted, it was just a kiss, it wasn't crazy explicit or anything, but bear in mind, this is a dude that's mentally in his 40s, apparently, right?
You telling me that it's something wrong with an 86-year-old man grabbing the ass of a 6-year-old? What the fuck am I saying?
I'm joking for the most part, but I was expecting at least some people to, say something about that, but no one has said anything about that, and I think that's just because Oshinoko is just so well liked and doesn't have the stigma that isekai anime has about it, So this episode functioned as the resolution of this arc of the story, with Akane's, little character arc, as well as showing a little more of Aqua's, thought process and how his mind works. So one of the things that he was talking about in this episode that I thought was really interesting is his mental process. And this is something that I think is brushed over a lot in a lot of the reincarnation stories that I've seen, is that your mind isn't just memories. It's also the neurochemistry of being a human. That affects your mental growth, being a baby and then growing up as this different person. And so while he may have the memories of his previous life and everything like that, the line between the gynecologist and Aqua Hoshino is starting to become blurred in his mind. He's not really seeing a difference oh, I'm not really Aqua Hoshino, I'm this guy. He's just viewing it now as I'm just this one person. So he's just becoming Aqua due to growing up as Aqua. And I just thought that was an interesting thing to discuss because in a lot of reincarnation stories, this is just something that isn't brought up and it's not discussed a lot. I like how you're actually thinking about, I'm in this new body, I've grown up as this different person. Am I this new person or am I the other person I was? And then of course we hit I think the main point of this episode, which was Aqua, I guess, recruiting Akane as a tool. He's channeling Ai on a Koji and he's just picking up tools. And this is something I noticed before, but it's the first time I'm talking about it. I feel that Aqua is a normal person, but basically he has this switch in his head. And whenever he gets into that mode of this will help me with my goal of revenge, he basically turns off his emotions and just becomes this cold, logical guy that will just view people as, tools for him to use to further his own ambitions. And that effect is visualized in the anime by the star in his eye turning black. And whenever that star turns black, that's when he's going into that Ayana Koji mode of everyone is a tool and I'm going to use them to achieve my goals and stuff. That conflict going on with Aqua mentally is definitely something that I want to see more. Him bouncing back and forth between do I want to live this life and enjoy this life, or do I need to focus on my revenge? And then we also have Akane, and Akane isn't a new character, but this is the first time I've talked about her since I've missed the past several weeks of Oshinoko. I mean, I really like Akane. I liked delving into her character and her backstory and everything like that. And of course, the whole character arc she went through in this bit of the story was absolutely gut-wrenching. and like I really was into her as a character, and I'm still into her as a character. It seems she's going to be a new addition to the main cast now that, you know, her and Aqua have basically paired up for the foreseeable future. You know, Aqua decides like, oh, is this a tool? Yep, it is. And Akane, of course, being a method actor, you know, she becomes the person she wants to be. She like really digs deep into the character that she's trying to get. And just from this arc of the story, I'm getting the vibes that there is like Akane might have like this other side to her. I don't know. I definitely want to see more to her. I feel like there's more there than what we've seen already, and her character is going to be great to explore, even though we've done a lot of that during this arc, but I would like to see more from her as well. And then, of course, the final note, which I think is going to roll us into the next arc of the story, is Aqua basically saying like, hey, do you want to join B Komachi to Memcho, who wanted to be an idol but gave it up. And that moment just kind of hit me a little weirdly, because like, you know, it's just Aqua is fulfilling this girl's dream like with a snap of his fingers, like, hey, you want to be an idol? You know, my sister's in an idol group, you want to join? So because this last arc was about Aqua a lot, I'm thinking the next arc might focus a little bit on the girls in B Komachi, with Memcho kind of joining them, and of course Ruby and Kana as well. Honestly, we haven't seen too much of Ruby in the show so far, so I would definitely like to see more from her. But overall, guys, a great episode of Oshi no Ko. I mean, I swear, the anime just keeps looking more beautiful every episode. I don't know what it is, but this anime is just so pleasing to look at. And of course, the music slaps. The opening is absolutely killing it online. I think it broke a record. Idol, the opening, it broke a record. And of course, because the song slaps like a mother, I listen to that thing all the time. It is such a good song. But yeah, I thought the Oshi no Ko train would slow down, but it is going full throttle. I'm still thoroughly enjoying the show. I still can't wait to see what happens. And did someone tell me, is it getting 2 cores, or am I imagining that? I can't remember, but if it's getting 2 cores, I'm just like, okay, yeah, this is gonna be awesome. I'm gonna love this. So guys, what did you think of this episode of Oshi no Ko? What are your feelings on Aqua and what he is doing and how he views people? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video and you want me to do more Oshi no Ko episode reviews, please hit that like button to let me know. And if you aren't already, please subscribe to the channel. It helps me out more than you know, and it'll let you know when I post in the future. With that being said, I want to thank you all for watching to the very end of the video, and I will see you all next time. Bye.